It's the first bad play I've seen you make. If you can bring happiness into Deanna's life, nothing would please me more. You know, you're really not such a bad sort, Rawl. Except you don't have any values, beyond the value of today's bid, that is. Deanna is just the woman to bring some meaning to your sorry existence, if you're smart enough to take it. I doubt that you are.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Fully Functional, a TNG podcast. I'm Maggie, joined by Jeff and Dory.
Yo!
Jeff and I are huge Star Trek nerds. Dory's a Star Trek novice, although she is on her way. And we are taking Dory on her first journey through Star Trek The Next Generation. Today we'll be discussing the Season 3 episode, The Price. Original air date November 11th, 1989. And as always, we'll take it to Dory for the recap.
Oh my god. I have so much to say. I'm so excited. Okay. Oh, I'm trying to calm down. There's so many things. Okay. All right. Calm. All right. So we start off. Troi learns she's got messages, 3 from her mother and 1 from something to do with Manitoba. Honestly, didn't pay that much attention to that one. I was like, oh, is your mom in this? And then Troi is exhausted and she would like a quote unquote real chocolate sundae. The computer says no because it doesn't have nutritional value, and also what does real like mean in this sense? So she's just like real chocolate, real ice cream, and then Picard interrupts her Sunday time and asks her to come down to a reception for the wormhole, and she says. She's like, I'm not really dressed for it. And he's like, it doesn't matter. Throw something on and come down the wormhole. Come see the wormhole. And she goes, God forbid I miss my first look at the wormhole. I found that so funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so we meet the different delegates who are bidding for this wormhole. Oh my God. So we have, so the person they're dealing with from the planet, their name is Madame Bhavani. Then we've got Leor from Caledonia. This fucking piece of shit. Devani Noni Rawl, who we'll just call Rawl. Fucking guy. And, of course, the Ferengi show up. Which, Jesus fucking Christ. There's a whole thing with chairs. I love it. I laughed so hard.
Yeah.
Truly, you know what? Let's just do it now. So we're introduced to the Ferengi, the lead one. His name is Damon Goss, and he goes, "My name is Damon Goss, and these are my consuls, Cole and Dr. Aridor, whatever. We'll need chairs." And then Picard goes, "I'm Captain Picard of the Enterprise. I am serving as host for these proceedings." And then Goss goes, "Good, then see to it we get some chairs." Then Picard goes, "Let me explain." And then Goss interrupts and goes, Fine, just have your Klingon servant get us some chairs." And then Worf goes, "I'm in charge of security." And then Goss goes, "Then who gets the chairs?" I laughed so hard. I went to go back and watch it twice.
That entire scene is very amusing. I quite enjoyed
it's super good.
It's ridiculous. I love it. So then, like, Troi makes eye contact with Rawl, and I totally thought they knew each other. Mm-hmm. Because of the way that she reacted. I thought they knew each other and this was like a reunion, but they didn't want to like tell, like a low-key reunion, like not planned, but like, and they were going to talk about it later. But no, this is the first time they've ever met, apparently. So immediately they're like, I don't know, into each other. And so Troi does like, I suppose the Star Trek version of Facebook stalking and looks into what his deal is.
She Googles him.
And yeah, so then like Rawl comes into the room and gets like real into her business.
Yeah, sorry, but just side note here, I have to note, he's 41. The character is 41.
Yeah,
I don't think Troy's that
41.
old.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah. He also doesn't look, I mean, 41's not old, but he doesn't look 41.
Yeah, no, he definitely does not.
So then he comes in and he is so cocky and just gets right up in her personal space.
He's a straight up creep.
Oh, yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
He like touches her hair and like takes off her hairband, and it's really weird. And you can't tell initially if she's into it.
Yeah.
Because she just sort of is very stiff, and it's I was uncomfortable on her behalf.
Especially since like he starts taking off her headband and she starts to go like, "What are you doing?" And then he's just like, "Shh, shh, 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 shh."
Yeah, don't
Let it
ever
happen.
like shushing someone is so fucking creepy.
Yeah. Especially when they're like clearly about to tell you to stop.
Yeah, and then he's like, "Who are you outside of this office?" I'm like, "What?"
You don't even know her inside this office yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've barely spoken to her, and you're like asking who she is, like outside of work. She's at work. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? It's so fucking weird.
Yeah.
So then like we meet with the Federation. Oh yeah, I forgot. They're also like interested in this wormhole. And so their negotiator is this guy Mendoza. And so Riker and Mendoza and some of the gang are chatting, and Riker thinks that like immediately like Rawl is the sketchiest because he like was super comfortable in the room, and that is like a red flag to him. And then Mendoza's like, "Oh, interesting, you must be really good at poker." And then and then Riker goes, "Poker? Is that a game of some sort?" And I just was like, Riker. I didn't hate it. I liked it. Honestly,
Yeah.
that was like...
And then Riker says, "Poker? I don't even know her."
Honestly, like Riker this episode...
He doesn't, but I wouldn't put it past
loved
him.
it. Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
Riker truly, like, loved him this episode.
Yeah.
What a fucking ride. Yeah, so, like... Oh, yeah, then we, like, weirdly cut to the Ferengi who are, like, planning on... They give some kind of poison, like, they inject their hands or something with some green, bluish shit, and they're gonna, like, poison people. I don't know. It's so stupid and doesn't make sense.
It's supposed to be
I know
like
it's to like eliminate the competition, but it's just so like it doesn't do anything. It just puts Mendoza out of like commission. However, they're like, Riker, you can do it, and then nothing changes.
Yep.
Yeah, it's literally
Like
just
it doesn't
to
make a difference.
Yeah, it's literally just so that they can find a way to make Riker one of the negotiators.
Yeah, it's so dumb.
Yeah.
They're like especially fucking annoying in this episode.
Yeah.
The Ferengi. Yeah.
But at
So
least they're
then-
not
oh, yeah.
treating them seriously this time. At least the episode
Yeah.
knows they're stupid.
Everybody's just like, ugh. I think it was Riker, or no, somebody calls them idiot. I don't
Geordi
remember
does.
who. Was it? Oh, right, Geordi. Yeah. Yeah, it's so funny. Okay, so then like Troi agrees to go on a date with Rawl, and so he like enters her quarters, and he's like Federation decor, and she's like, yeah, whatever, and then he's like, she's like, not your style or something, and he's like, conformity's not my style, and I'm like, seriously, just go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Truly go fuck yourself. Who fucking says like that? I hate it. I hate him. He's such a tool, but holy shit. Troi looks incredible.
Yeah.
That
Oh my
shot
God.
when the door opens and she's standing there, she's got the off the shoulder blue dress, her hair just like nothing in her hair. She looked incredible.
Yeah.
I literally wrote in my notes in capital letters, "Damn, Troi."
Damn.
She looked so good. It's too bad they don't just let her wear this all the time.
Yeah.
Because truly, she's never looked better. I mean, she's gorgeous. She looks great and everything, but like, this was it. I mean, she looked good. She wore a pink outfit later. She looked great in that, but this blue, this was it.
Yeah.
Holy shit. She looked so fucking good. Oh my God. Okay, yeah, so back to the piece of shit that is Rawl. Oh yeah, so he's like, he like shit talks her decor and then kisses her. So it's like, what?
Oh no,
Like, I know-
she's standing next to the replicator and she goes like, and she says, "What would you like?" And he kisses her.
Oh yeah.
Which is like, okay, if he wasn't such a creep before, I would say that's a smooth move. but like, ew.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's really fucking weird. And then he's so obsessed with asking, like, what is, like, who is Counselor Troi? And it's like, why are you being so fucking weird about this? She, like, from what we see, like, Troi is Troi.
Mm-hmm.
She's not, like, she doesn't doesn't seem like she has different modes. Like, she's probably takes things maybe more serious, but she doesn't seem like she's, like, you know, doesn't take things seriously in her personal life. I don't know. She is who she is, and like she's not hiding shit. It's just who she is, and I like that about Troi. But he just makes it such a weird fucking focus on who is she. Like, what do you mean, who is she? Fucking what? It's very fucking weird. I hate this guy.
Yeah, he's like very invasive for someone like you that you just met.
Yeah, and then she's like, "Oh, we're gonna be late for dinner," and then he picks her up. I was like, "What? Is he gonna run her in his arms to dinner? Do you guys have a reservation?" I didn't care for that. Anyways, so
They're going to the food court at the mall.
Yeah,
Because I was just thinking, like, where are they going to dinner?
yeah. Do they have a restaurant on board? I'm gonna lose my damn fucking mind.
Well, I guess 10 forward, technically. They serve food.
Do they? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yes, I would love that. Oh my god. I would love that. Okay, so then like they decide, so our crew decides like, okay, this wormhole thing is like, doesn't seem like super on the up and up, so they're like, we're gonna send a probe in. So Geordi and Data agree to go in to drive the shuttle, and then they're like, we will, you know, share our findings with everyone, but the Ferengi have to be the fucking, I would almost say the worst, but you know what, someone else wins the award for worst in this episode.
Yeah.
So, but they're just fucking annoying, and they're like, we're gonna send our own probe. So they send their two guys in, and yeah. Oh, there's a funny. Well, I'll get to it later, lines and stuff. Okay, so hold on. I'm just trying to remember shit because so much happens in this episode. Oh my god. Oh yeah. So then, like, Riker joins in the negotiations, and Rawl is a piece of shit, and he's like talks down to him. But Riker, such a good fucking sport, truly just smiles and is like, mm-hmm. And then we cut to a 13-second, I timed it, 13-second shot of Troy's foot and Rawl's hands on her foot. One foot.
Yeah.
It's 13 seconds, you guys. 13 seconds of a TV show that was someone's foot.
Yep.
Like being massaged.
As it's being massaged with
Yeah.
Will.
And it was weird.
Yeah, so
It
if you
was-
want
it
feet pics,
was
you know what episode to go to.
That's so long.
Yeah.
13 actual seconds of a foot being massaged.
Yeah.
It was so weird. Ugh. Then we're cut to, like, well, not cut. It's Rawl and Troi in a bed, in which truly the whole scene, she's wearing this nightgown that has these like gaping sleeves, and I was so scared that, like, I don't know, there was going to be a wardrobe malfunction or something. Like, I figured there wouldn't be, as this was like network television.
Yeah.
But I was worried for her. That was like the gaps in the sleeves were so big.
Yeah.
Honestly, that stressed me out a weird amount. I was just worried for her. It's like, oh my god. Rawl just proves he's like a massive fuckboy, and he likes the fact that she can't really read him. He also asks about Riker, and she is kind of an open book, so she's like, yeah. And I actually, in my notes, he's like, asks about Riker, and I just wrote, what about Riker?
Yeah.
I'm gonna fight you. I will fight you. What do you want to talk about Riker for? So it turns out Rawl is actually a quarter Betazoid. His mom was half Betazoid, and so he is a quarter, and he uses his gift for evil instead of good. Which, is that surprising? No, not at all. Also, I wrote, Troy's sheets are fucking blinding.
Yeah.
They're so distracting. Also, she's like straddling him for like a good portion of this conversation, and so it goes between her and then him on these sheets, and the sheets are so they're too sparkly. Like I'd almost like I don't even want to know what the texture would be because I keep thinking of like sequins and those are like really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I don't even want to know what the hell the sheets are made out of. Anyways.
They're made out of sci-fi.
Yeah, it seems like it would be like scratchy.
Yeah, it doesn't feel comfortable. Doesn't seem like it'd be comfortable. So Data and Geordi go through the wormhole and they end up in Delta Quadrant, even though Madame Bhavani said that they would end up in like the Gamma Quadrant, so that's like very off. So they realize like it's not stable on this end, and that is alarming. Then then Troi meets up with Dr. C for some like stretching in the most questionable outfits.
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing. Okay, I get that this was like a trend in the 80s. However, this was a lot, especially Troy's like boob strap leotard.
Yeah.
Like it was honestly, this whole scene was very jarring. Like, I love that they're chatting and hanging out like they're friends. I love that.
Yeah.
But then they're like chatting. They're like fully in the splits and they're like stretching each other back and forth. And I was like, this is definitely a lot of like teenage boys' wet dream back in the day.
And here's the thing. It's like they're simultaneously like very covered up, but it just feels more exposed that way.
Like everything's skin tight.
Yeah, like just something about it feels so weird.
And I think it's also like the cut of like the leotards in like the 80s and 90s were so like high on the hip.
Yeah.
It just feels very it's just jarring. It's a really weird kind of look. And yeah, the whole scene was great, but also jarring.
Yeah, because I like the conversation going on there and that, like, they're just friends hanging out and stuff, but...
Just guys being dudes.
Yeah, but it's just, like... The aerobics thing makes it weird.
Yeah. I mean, like, exercising together is not inherently an issue. I think just this was very... Just, like, it was a choice.
Yeah, especially because they do that thing where they, like, hold the splits, like, with each other's legs, and they're, like, stretching each other. Yeah. It's, like, way too intimate.
Yeah. It was very weird. Like, that particular... Like, I think they were... It was like, okay, it's fine until they started doing that. And I was like, why... It feels weird that this is being recorded.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we're intruding on something.
Yeah.
But, I mean, all that aside, I do love that they're, like, actually friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe their friendship. It's very cute. I'm always happy when, you know, people get to, like, hang out outside of, like, them doing work stuff.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for a beach day. I know it probably won't happen, but almost every show I watch, I'm like, please have there be a beach day. I just want people to have a nice beach day. Okay, so after that, Raul is then having a conversation with Leor from Caledonia, talking about all this admin shit, and it's like very obvious he's trying to pull something.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, listen, let me propose something to you. And then immediately, the weirdest fucking edit I've ever seen in my life. I don't know if this, but like, Raul is talking, and all of a sudden, he's like, he starts talking, and then it just cuts to Madame Bhavani talking, and it's sort of the same subject, but it just was so fucking weird.
It was a real hard cut.
Yeah.
It was so... Like, I think they say, like, if you don't notice the cuts, then that's good editing. Mm-hmm. Bro, I noticed so fucking hard. I don't think I've noticed more in my life. Yeah, that was fucking wild. So Leor drops out of the bidding war, and so now it's down to the Federation and the people that Raul represents. It's... Fucking ridiculous. Anyways, okay, so now Data and Geordi, they're trying to give the information to the Ferengis of like, yeah, this shit is like not cool. Geordi can see that wormhole is like coming, so like they should go at this time. But the Ferengis are like, no, we're gonna wait because like we think it's at this time. And it's like, bro, your funeral, I guess. So Geordi and Data go through, and then like, I mean, sorry, Ferengis, like they missed their wormhole, so bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, rip.
And then so Troi is then having some like a meal with Rawl, and his shirt is open, and I wrote in my notes, oh, you wish you were Riker.
Yeah. Also, did you notice their forks?
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know how comfortable
it's quite a setup
would be to eat with those.
Yeah,
This is basically like 4 like spikes on the end of a thing.
yeah, it looked very like, I don't want to say not industrial, but just like it's kind of severe
Yeah.
design, if you will. Yeah, so thankfully Troi calls Rawl out for, not telling anybody that he is an empath.
Mm-hmm.
And then he has the fucking audacity to compare his fucking like gig with her abilities.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's no fucking comparison. He shits on her. He's like, see, there's no difference. You like, if you sense that, the Klingons or Romulan, whoever is like not being honest, you can tell your captain. And then he's like, oh, it's the same. And then immediately says, you deal with life and death situations and I deal with property. And I'm like, yeah, you literally just showed how it's different.
Yeah.
Is that she's using this for the safety of like all the people on the fucking Enterprise.
Yeah.
And he's doing it to like manipulate people. So like, make it make sense, asshole. Like,
Yeah.
what?
I did like that they showed his logic. Like, to you or me, like, that, like, I don't think his argument is that valid, but, like, it totally makes sense to me that someone would think that way.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. He's just an idiot. And he's
Oh, yeah,
wrong.
yeah. I just mean in terms of, like, the episode, I like that they did that to show that, like,
absolutely.
he's, like, actually has some logic here. He isn't just, like, I'm mean and an asshole because blah.
Yeah, it truly, I was like fuck you, Rawl.
Yeah.
Then he goes to 10 Forward, where Riker is having a drink.
Mm-hmm.
He also weirdly stops and stands in front of the 3D chess thing, which people are sitting down at, which is noted because I don't remember if it was last episode or the episode before, Data and Wes were standing at the 3D chess set. People are sitting this time. So yeah, he awkwardly stands and watches for a second, but also watches Riker. He goes over and sits with Riker. And his ego is so fucking big. Mm-hmm. And then Riker just like destroys him.
Yeah.
I got so much joy out of this scene because Rawl comes in and he's like, hey, listen, we both love Deanna in, different ways. We have some stuff in common. And he talks about because, like, we're, like, going into the end bits and, he has to do it on his own, which is, like, might be difficult for Riker because he's second in command. And I was like, bitch,
Ooh.
I'm going to punch you in the fucking face. You don't disrespect Riker like that. But Riker, like, does not lose his cool. He, like, makes a face at one point, but truly doesn't. Like, he stays so solid. This needs to be, I'm going to read their exchange because it just... chef's kiss. So Rawl basically he goes we both love Deanna in different ways, of course. And then Riker goes, I will remove that burden of responsibility right now. My relationship with Deanna stands very well on its own without any help from you. And then like I think there's some stuff in between there.
Yeah.
Oh, so I guess that's not the bit I wanted to do. The next bit. This is the bit that's like the fucking best. So then Riker says, that's the first bad play I've seen you make. If you bring happiness into Deanna's life, nothing would please me more. You're not really such a bad sort, Rawl, except you don't have any values beyond the value of today's bid. That is, Deanna is just a woman to bring, Yeah, that is, Deanna is just the woman to bring some meaning into your sorry existence if you're smart enough to take it. I doubt that you are. To the last mile. Ducks on him so good. I love it.
Oh yeah, because he was making analogies that like, oh, the last mile of the marathon is the hardest or whatever. And
then,
yeah, dude, like my favorite part is like he's talking all this shit, being like, oh, that's why you're only second in command, and it's like he spouts off this whole shit, and it's like, oh, you could have had her, but you didn't do enough to keep her, that sort of thing, and it's like, and now I'm gonna take her, and it cuts to a close-up of Riker, and he has this, like, straight face, and it just slowly goes into this beautiful shit-eating grin, and it's just so good.
So good.
And he devours that shit like it's a finish.
Yeah.
It truly... it's so fucking good. And then by the end of that, Raul just, like, he knows, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
That was harsh. But it's not harsh.
Just got, like, severely dunked on.
Oh my god, like he got burned so fucking hard that they need to call an ambulance.
Yeah.
Because he is, oh my god, he needs like skin
grafts.
Implants. Yeah. Oh god, so burned so hard. So then the Ferengi decide that they want the wormhole and nobody else should get it. There's some other shit around there, but I don't know. I was still just like going off about Riker's absolute destruction of Raul. That this whole bit, which is the ending, kind of like lost me a little bit. Just for that. It wasn't necessarily a bad ending. I just was sort of like out of it. But yeah, basically the Ferengi Goss is like, causing some drama. He's wants to blow up the wormhole. But then, so that calls Riker away from the negotiation room, which leaves Raul to negotiate with Madame Bhavani. And so then they come up into Madame Bhavani and Raul come on the bridge. And Raul is like, hey, listen, I just bought the wormhole and you can have you can have lots of access to it and shit. And they're like, oh, okay, that seems good. And then Troi is like, this worked out a little too convenient, wouldn't you say? And so she exposes Raul in front of everybody that like he has manipulating everybody because he is an empath. He's a quarter betazoid. And people are like, what, gasp? But then it turns out because then Data and Geordi get back after Raul has already like agreed to the terms for the wormhole. Oh yeah, the wormhole is a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
The wormhole is like not stable. Like it's basically, I think they called it a dried up well or something. Yeah, it's useless. It's worthless. Ha ha ha. Sucker. And yeah, I just enjoyed that Troi really got to just call him out and publicly embarrass him. He
did get his just desserts in the end, which is great.
Oh, yeah, because then he goes to grovel.
Yeah.
He goes to Troi the very end, and he's like, listen, I said we should run away together, which, like, I don't know, did he say that? I think he maybe mentioned that, like, maybe I don't know. It's dumb.
Yeah, he made, like, an offhand comment about it.
Yeah, and so then he's like, you should run away, you can be my conscience. And she is like, Troi is smart enough to know that's fucking stupid. Another person shouldn't be your conscience. And
she dunks on him too.
No. Yeah. She's like, no. Go deal with your fuck up.
Well, what she says
on your own.
Yeah, what she says is like, he's like, you can help me, you can change me, you can be my conscience. And like they kiss, and then afterwards she's like, I already have a job as a counselor.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Which is so brutal and like the right thing to say.
Yeah, and then suck it, Raul.
Yeah, way ahead of her time. Women are not your therapists.
Yeah, truly. As much as I hated Raul, I really liked this episode. So much happened. I love that Troi got to like not be passive in this situation. I like that Riker this guy kept poking at Riker, and Riker did not budge, and he just took him down. And then Raul got fucked. by himself.
Yeah.
He fucked himself in the face and in everywhere. And
Yep.
that was incredibly satisfying.
He bought a proverbial lemon.
Oh, yeah. I loved it. I truly, this was a very fun episode for me.
Yeah. This episode's a lot creepier than I remember. Like, I remember, like, I usually skip this episode, so it's been a while since I've seen it, but I remember him being a lot more charming than creepy.
Yeah, it's really transparent how fake the charming attitude is.
Yeah.
Especially, like, it starts off being transparently creepy and whatnot, but, like, even in that last scene with him where Troi dunks on him, there's that moment where it's like, oh, has he reformed or whatnot? But then you, like, listen to what he's saying and, like, the speech that he's using, and he's like, no, he's using himself getting dunked to manipulate further. He hasn't changed one bit.
Yeah. Because it's like, if you've changed, like, you've changed. You're not like, hey, like, you can help me change.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's not someone else's job to, like, to help you change, basically. Like, unless they are your therapist, like, it's not anyone else's job to do that.
Yeah, and that also puts, like, enormous amount of pressure and just responsibility onto someone who shouldn't have to be burdened with that, because it's your fucking decisions and your actions.
Yeah.
Like, that, when you put that sort of thing on a partner, that it's incredibly unfair. And it's like a weird power imbalance too, because I think that putting all of your shit on one person, like trying to make them your conscience, well, like, that's pretty fucked up. And then say, like, you know, if you don't do what they say and you go do whatever the fuck you want, that's still on you.
Yeah.
But it feels like this guy would somehow try to make it about that, like, she influenced it. Like, he just is like, hardcore manipulator.
Yeah.
He sucks.
Yeah, because let's be fair. He wasn't saying that shit at the end, honestly. He was saying that as part of the game.
Yeah.
And I think it almost seemed also like he wanted to, like, rub it in Riker's face. Mm-hmm. Which it's like, haha, nice try.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because I think it also shows, like, he thought so little of her that he thought that she would jump at the chance to, like, help him. When it's like, bro, she just exposed you and publicly humiliated you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh, but maybe she'll, like, still do what I want her to do? Like, what?
Yeah. And, like, and the fact that he used their relationship as a negotiating tactic.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
That's just, like, that's super fucked up, bro.
He's such a scumbag.
I think what frustrated me a bunch about this episode, because admittedly throughout the first half of it I was kind of bored. Mm-hmm. Not because I didn't like watching, like, him being a fucking creepo and whatnot, but just like I didn't remember the episode very well, and I didn't remember the direction that it took, because seeing him be like a fucking creepo and whatnot, it didn't really engage me. Seeing her fall in love in a way that really didn't make any sense, like, it was transparently odd, like she was having an out-of-body experience almost. That didn't engage me either, because I'm just like, this isn't the Troi that we've known for the last couple seasons, so this is very weird.
The thing is, though, is, like, that can happen, though. Like, especially...
Oh, I know.
Like, we don't know a lot about this guy, but, like, it actually happens with... It can happen with abusers a lot.
Yeah, but it was near instant. Like, you saw her have a reaction to him the second she saw him.
Yeah,
but, I
yeah.
mean, he also said it might be because of he's got Betazoid in him.
Oh, yeah, that is
that
why.
Might have, like, that would have, like, heightened shit.
It's just that by the time that I was halfway through the episode, I wasn't really interested in finding that part out yet. I was more just oh, I get it. He's a run-of-the-mill manipulator. Okay, he's the villain of the episode, but it doesn't have a classic, take down the villain story. So what am I watching?
Well, it was interesting because the point I was making was that, like, especially, like, people who, like, essentially what he's doing is, like, love bombing.
Yes.
And, like, that can have, like, a very quick and profound effect on people. Especially someone who's, like, maybe lonely or whatever. Which, I guess, I don't know if they imply that. Well, they imply that Troi is, like, kind of, she doesn't really have much going on except her job.
Yeah.
So, that can happen. And it's, like, I don't know, it's interesting to see Troi, like, be like that. Like, just, I don't know, like, not have control of the situation.
Yeah, okay. That's fair. But I guess
Yeah.
that's why I didn't think that, like it didn't make sense to me that she was suddenly overtaken by this. I did
Yeah.
forget the fact that he was partially Betazoid, but him being less Betazoid than her and being able to manipulate people more than her also doesn't add up at all.
No, it can, because he, like
probably,
uses
like,
it for
practiced it.
manipulation. Like, she
But
doesn't.
Yeah, but there are instances where she could use it for manipulation throughout Star Trek where she doesn't, so it's kind of implied that she doesn't have any power like that whatsoever. She can't change the feelings of other people.
No, neither can he.
He's just feeding off of what other people are feeling, so he just reacts or, responds to people based on how he could.
Yeah, but then it
receives them
doesn't
feeling.
explain why her reaction to him is literally immediate. It is the second that she
it might
sees
just
him.
be
No,
she
it's
thinks
just-
he's hot, and he's also a new guy on the ship, and it might be just a combination of a bunch of things. I mean, they're with the same people every day. They see someone new. He's like, I almost said age appropriate, but I don't know how old Troi is.
Yeah, it's because, like, so, listen, I don't buy the explanation either, but here's the deal, I think, is, like, because they're both so empathic, they just kind of have, like, more of an immediate connection. Like,
Yeah, I
that
guess
kind
they
of thing.
feel more. They feel more strongly, I would think, also.
Yeah, maybe.
So it might just be a combination of all that. The Betazoid stuff, and they probably looked at each other and were like, "Damn."
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah, and that reminds me, because he says, like, because she tells him, like, you're using your powers to, like, manipulate people, and he's like, people have been doing that for thousands of years by, like, listening carefully, reading body language and all that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, that shit's fucked up too, dude.
Yep.
yeah. What a weird
Also,
defense.
the difference there is everyone has the same abilities. Like, if you're in a room full of humans, everyone has the same ability to do that. It's like some people are just more practiced at it than other. You literally have a different ability than everybody else.
Yes.
So, that's unbalanced. That's not fair.
I think the other thing that kind of set me off about it was that the introduction, the like teaser part of the episode where Troi is all stressed out in her quarters, that didn't quite feel like her to me either. Like it kind of showed her like really on edge in a way that I don't think we've seen of her before. Mm-hmm. Because I don't know if you recall, but when the captain is like, "Hey, you should come down to this thing," she's like, she is verbally annoyed by that.
Yeah.
And I mean, she sucks it up when she gets there, so it's fine. But like, it just feel like it was a weird setup to the episode.
It didn't to me, to be honest. Like, I think that was the point, was to show her, like, in a moment of frustration that we don't usually get to see.
Okay.
I do think the whole like ice cream and chocolate shit was like very weird. It was a little like off though.
Oh,
Yeah,
that'll
I
come up again. This is the first time
Is
that
she
they're
like a
introducing
chocolate
her.
person?
Yeah,
she loves chocolate.
It becomes
Okay.
a thing.
Yeah.
Because like for a second I was like, is this gonna be like one of the like the fucking trope that you see in rom-coms of like women love chocolate? It's like, okay, like most people like chocolate. It's not a
No.
woman exclusive
For
thing.
her, it's
But-
like a thing that they go on. Like
Okay.
she's a bit of a connoisseur of it, and
Okay, that's
they
good.
play
I
it off
can
for
accept
laughs
that.
later on.
Yeah.
There's
Okay.
there's a first for a couple of things in this episode because it's the first time that we have her chocolate introduction. Here's the first time that we're discussing a stable wormhole in Star Trek, and the first time that quadrants have been discussed in Star Trek.
Yeah, I feel like they mentioned it
Nope.
one time before.
Look this up. This is the
Yeah.
first time that they're being mentioned at all.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, the quadrants, it's very simple. Like, they basically, just divided the galaxy into 4 and named them Alpha, Beta, Delta, and Gamma.
Yeah. And Earth is supposedly right on the border between Alpha and Beta. However, the Beta Quadrant is almost never referred to. The whole area is just colloquially referred to as the Alpha Quadrant, and you'll hear it a lot as we get into other Star Treks, and they will say it other times throughout TNG. But, I mean, you have to remember, this early into TNG for a series that goes on so long, they're coming up with little bits of lore as they go, and they get more complicated as we go further.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you say lore, I think of lore from, the episode.
Oh.
Hey, every time you meet Lore, you get to know Lore a little bit better, and then Lore becomes a more complex character. Except for the last time you see him. He's not so complex there.
Yeah. You get to know the lore of lore.
You get to know the lore of Data, too.
Oh, Data. There's not been enough Data in the last few episodes.
Yeah.
Oh, there'll be more in this season. Don't worry. There'll be some real good Data stuff in this season.
I mean, to be honest, we got, it was getting really Data heavy for a while there.
Yeah, there were a couple episodes in a row that were Data. Back-to-back Data.
Yeah, I enjoy Data. But we had him for a long time, and then now we've had a bit of a light drought of Data, and so I would like
more Data.
Yeah, more Data, please. I did love Data and Geordi in the shuttle this episode.
Oh, in the rave, yes.
Yeah.
It was so good. So Geordi says, so they're on the other end of the wormhole in the Delta Quadrant, and Geordi goes, if this doesn't work, the thought of spending the rest of my life in here is none too appealing. And then Data goes, there is a bright side, Geordi. You will have me to talk to. I love their friendship so much. That was a little taste, but I will take it. I'll take anything they give me with Data and Geordi being friends. I like that their people are friends, actually friends.
Yeah.
It's the interpersonal relationships I crave.
You will see many more.
Yes. Because I loved, obviously, Data and Geordi. I loved Troi and Dr. C, who also, her hair was short.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
But longer than the first chunk of this season. So
it must have been filmed out of order.
Because her hair, what is going on with last episode? Her hair is so long, and then all of a sudden, it's short.
Yeah, I've been keeping track of episode order, and it's been in order for a while.
I don't understand.
Oh, no, I mean in terms of how they filmed it.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in terms of filming it. Yeah.
This is going to bother me. This is going to be the biggest mystery of the show. Why? What happened? What's the reasoning? What was going on there? I also love that, Troi and Riker didn't really have any scenes together in this episode. However, I do love that he's, got her back. I like that Riker defended her and, stood up for her, just, well, not necessarily defend, but, he
wasn't,
was not
jealous or anything.
Yeah, it wasn't toxic. He was, he wants nothing but the absolute best. And I love that they're on such good terms and that they're exes and they can still work together and be friends, because I really like their friendship. So it was really nice that Riker could just be you're an idiot, Raul. You don't yeah, this was like good relationship stuff in this.
Yeah, definitely.
Friendship.
Yeah.
Yes.
I really like when Dr. Crusher and Deanna are talking, And I forget what she says, but it's like, oh, but who cares about that when your toes curl? It's like, oh, jeez.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember what the line is either, but it's
It's
like,
not
right.
the last time that she'll make jokes like that, but it is amusing.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Because it is, like, especially for this era, it's nice to see, like, women talk about, like, just liking sex and not taking it seriously.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I also like learning more about Beverly. Because, like, we only know a little bit about her at this point, and so for her to, like, I mean, we didn't learn a lot, but we do know that she, like, fell in love with some guy before Jack Crusher, and that didn't last long. But still, it just, any bit, I want to learn more about her. I'll take any, like, little nugget.
Yeah. We learned that, like, her and Jack Crusher, like, kind of took a while to figure out that they, like, liked each other, which was cute. And that at one point she had a lover that was like, what did she say? She, like, we fell in love for a day. We fell in love in a day, and it lasted a week. But what a week.
Yes.
Good times. Yeah, this episode, I mean, it's no masterpiece, but I did have a fun time watching it.
It was fun, yeah.
Yeah. There's just a lot more things I could scream about. I'm pretty sure my neighbors hate me.
There is one thing that kind of annoyed me as a Trek nerd. When Troi started realizing that the Ferengi was lying, I'm just like, pretty sure we established that you can't read Ferengi, so nope.
Yeah, I noticed that too, and I'm like, I thought you couldn't read Ferengi. Although I don't know if they've super established that yet.
They did in the episode where Picard was getting manipulated by that one Ferengi.
Right.
And I think they might have established it in the first episode too, where she was literally just like, I'm getting nothing from them. And like, it depends on the episode. Sometimes she can't read them at all, and other times she can. Just inconsistent. Sort of like how sometimes they can beat through the shields and other times they can't.
Yeah.
Well, maybe, I don't know, maybe I can chalk it up to, like, her just sort of seeing, like, oh, feels like they're bullshitting. And then when Rawl came in, she was able to read him and be like, oh, wait, I think she says, I don't know. She says something. You know what? I'm wrong. I don't remember what she says, but I think she says something about, like, sensing the Ferengi.
Like that he wasn't
something.
Tense. It's like I sense no tension.
Something. Or he wasn't worried or whatever. Yeah, okay, so I'm wrong. Never mind. Yeah, I did like that she did get to be like an active participant in like calling Rawl out. Mm-hmm. That she once she sort of realized that he's like manipulating. Well, not realized. He told her. And then he admitted to like manipulating her as well, and I was like, "How dare you?"
Yeah.
I mean, I knew that we saw it happen, but like, still, it just. I like that nobody else had to convince her he was bad.
Yeah.
She was able to figure it out on her own, and then call him out. You know what? A lot of stuff happened that I was like hoping would happen in my prediction. Mm-hmm. That like she was able to figure it out on her own. She calls him out on it, and then even when he like shuts her down, she doesn't like, you know, sink away from it. She fucking calls him out in front of everybody on the bridge, and I really, really like that. I think I always with Troi episodes, I think I've not that I don't give the writers credit, because I've got her episodes in the past have just been like so
well, I mean the child.
Like,
yeah, that's a great example.
You know what I would love? I would love for a Troi episode which has nothing to do with her you know, with romance or with a child or her mom. I would love a Troi episode that has nothing to do with any of those things, and it's just she gets to be just a fucking badass, or she just gets to like, be awesome.
There is one episode like that I can think of.
One?
Yeah, unfortunately. I think there's like a couple where it's like, it's not it's not like about her abilities or anything, but there's one that specifically comes to mind.
I just like every episode we've had with her focus is about romance. It's about the child.
Yeah,
Or her
unfortunately,
mom.
the romance one is gonna continue on.
Yeah.
There's a
'Cause
lot
she's
of
like-
Troi romance episodes.
I mean, okay, I get, yeah, she's absolutely gorgeous. She is awesome. She is like quite a catch. However, it's kind of, I feel like it would get like, you know, old real quick because none of these are going to be long term, I would assume.
Yeah.
Like it's all just episode fling and like,
Yeah, welcome to
That-
episodic television.
I know, but I don't like it.
In just a little crumb of fairness, there are equally, if not more, episodes of Riker romances.
Yes.
I mean, to be honest though, that I feel the same way with that. Like I, like just because like Riker's man doesn't change the like fling bit of it.
Yeah.
I want like I mean this always will come back to the fact that I want character development and I want like shit to happen versus like wham bam one episode
Yeah.
and they're done. So like
That's fair.
yeah, I have the same criticism with like if Riker's gonna have a lot of one episode stands, if you will. Yeah, because then it feels not like almost meaningless because like they're just there for one episode and we're likely not going to see this person again. So like why should I care, but like I know from the start it's not going to like be long lasting,
Yeah.
which is like I guess I just have to be along for the ride versus being invested.
Yeah.
But I will be a little invested because I like these characters. So then I'm just going to feel frustrated because I'm like, I know this is not going to last. And so somebody's going to be upset. Or like, I don't know. I don't, unless it's like a multi-episode thing. Because I also like, I don't know. It just feels empty.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God. Does Troi have like, end up at some point doing like a holodeck boyfriend?
No, not as far as I
don't
remember.
think so.
Okay.
Not as
Well,
far as I can
that's-
remember.
Okay. I mean, that's something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just that's just Riker's thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, I guess Geordi technically too.
Yeah.
Yep.
But in a
Oh, it's
different
okay.
way.
They won't be the last.
Oh God. Oh boy. Well, at the very least, I'll have a lot to say about those episodes.
She'll get real confused when we get to broccoli.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what that means, and
Exactly.
I suppose that's good.
Yep. You're not going to know what it means until you see it.
Oh boy. Well, I am happy we got a Troi episode, and she did get to be the hero of her story with, I suppose, an assist from Riker. Well, I guess he didn't really do anything. He just like, you know, dunked on.
But you didn't
Raw.
do anything, didn't I?
Well, also there hasn't been like a Riker episode in a bit. I think not since his like dad. I can think of.
there.
Oh
Let's
wait, no, I
see,
guess
the-
the season 2 finale. I guess the peak performance that was
Yeah, there's
Riker-esque.
there's a couple of decent Riker soirees in this season, but you'll get more of him going on. Like there are some excellent Riker episodes in TNG.
Yes.
Because I'm realizing the farther we get into this, the more I like Riker. He comes through sometimes, like surprisingly. Because I think I've said this before. Like from what I had sort of like, I mean, I didn't know anything about him, but I knew like what he looked like just
Yep.
from passing of like, you know, stuff online or wherever. And I kind of thought he was going to be such a bro. And he's not.
Yeah.
Mostly.
He's a
his character
respectful bro.
Yeah, his character honestly surprised me. And, like, I didn't think I would like him as much as I do. Mm-hmm. And I think because, like, he seems like he'd be this sort of... Like, I assumed, I mean, that he would kind of be, like, that absolute fucking shitty archetype of, like, the, like, womanizing, like, cocky asshole.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Even Kirk wasn't that.
Yeah, not really.
Like, I don't mean like in Star Trek. I just mean in general.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I'm
That's
just
sort of
saying
true.
that kind of stereotype is never something Star Trek has done, and I very much doubt they're going to do it in the future.
Yeah.
They do have a character kind of like that in Lower Decks, but they're like mocking that whole attitude
Oh.
anyway. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like, I'm very happy to know that like that is not Riker's deal, and Riker is actually pretty great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and he gets even better as we go on.
Yeah, because, like, one of the things that's, like, it's all about, like, the respect, right? It's like, yeah, maybe
Yeah.
he's a womanizer, but, like, everyone is cool with the situation. He's not, like, lying or manipulating or anything. He's like, you down? Cool. You down?
Yep.
No?
As
Also
long as
cool.
there's respect and consent, like, party. It makes me think, like, Riker, if he wasn't smart, he would very much be a himbo. But he's smart, so I don't think he really qualifies.
No.
Because that's, like... So, he's,
Yeah.
like, almost a
Yeah.
himbo, but
I-
he's smart.
Yeah.
Because he respects women,
Yeah.
from what I've seen so far,
I think
which I like.
I remember hearing someone talk about the whole himbo trope and, like, what the appeal is. And I think what their theory is that it's appealing to see a man who doesn't feel the need to be the smartest person in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Or, like,
Okay.
totally, like, admits when he doesn't know something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, doesn't have, like, that extreme ego about himself. It's like, yeah, he has all the physical attributes of a hunk or a jock or whatever, but he doesn't have the attitude.
Right.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
think the example we see a lot these days is Thor,
Mm-hmm.
especially in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
That's the epitome, or I think maybe just like Chris Hemsworth in a bunch of stuff. 'Cause
Yeah.
Also, you could say him in Ghostbusters.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like,
Yeah, he does a very good
think-
himbo.
Yeah.
he's so fucking funny.
Mm-hmm.
I still haven't
I think
seen
he
that
needs to. Ghostbusters?
one. Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I liked it. I'm not, but to be fair, I'm not one of those like people who were super obsessed with the like 80s Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah.
I've seen the first and second. I was like, it's fine.
Yeah.
This one I actually like. I laughed out loud at some stuff. It's not a perfect movie, but I do think it's fun. And he was real fun in it.
Yeah, I never got around to seeing it, not for any particular reason. I just didn't see it. But yeah, I am a person who like absolutely loves the original ones, but I don't feel like so protective of it that I'm like, oh, blah, 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 women in my Ghostbusters.
That's because you're not a gatekeeper.
Yeah, exactly. Like the criticism I heard of it that like gives me pause is that it seems like a movie where they did a lot of improvisation and they kind of let it go on too long.
I've
Like-
heard that too. Yeah.
That's an issue with like improvised movies in general. Is like sometimes the joke just goes on for too long because they're
Yep.
like kind of just riffing and yes-anding.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like, you know, it's nice to have a comedy. Like I like improvised comedies, but I also like comedies with like a nice tight script. You know?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see like the improv stuff. I mean, truthfully, it didn't bother me. Like, I think that the women in like the main cast were all very funny, so
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I think also I found it really, I mean, this is very much, I guess we're doing Ghostbusters corner. But I just found that like the people who were so gatekeepy about the movie, I don't understand it, because Bill Murray agreed to be in this movie. A bunch of the people from the
Yeah.
original agreed to be in this movie. And if they're the ones...
And Bill Murray's been the one that's been keeping Ghostbusters 3 from happening for like fucking 40, 30 years or whatever it's
And-
been.
And if the people who are in the original support this movie, then like, what the fuck are you so mad about?
Yeah. Also,
And-
that
and it's
movie
not
still
like-
exists.
Yeah, they're not trying to redo it. They're
Yep.
just taking the concept and, you know, just going in a different direction. They're not saying, oh, that shit didn't exist. They're I don't know. There's like allusions to stuff, but they're not saying, oh, this is now the only Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
That's right.
It just, my God, I think, I mean, obviously, when the movie came out, it was just a very enormously misogynistic, discourse over it. Because, like,
Yeah.
where's the discourse over this new one that's coming out that, like, I don't get it. I mean, I love Paul Rudd, but, like, there's, like, children, and there's I saw the trailer for it a while ago.
Oh, is there a new
And I don't get it.
Ghostbusters?
Yeah, there is.
Oh.
And it's, like, with one of the kids from Stranger Things. Paul
Yes.
Rudd's in it. There's, like, a family. They move to, like, a house or something. And in the trailer, somebody's driving, and there's, like, a kid who flings out on, like, a seat in the... I don't know.
Yeah,
It's on
the
YouTube.
story is that it's like Egon's grandkid or something like that, and they stumble upon a bunch of Ghostbusters stuff, and it triggers a whole Ghostbusters thing. And
That sounds kind of cute, to be honest.
it was weird because the trailer seems to treat the lore of Ghostbusters really seriously,
Oh.
which is not something I'm interested in. Because, like, Ghostbusters lore is intentionally stupid.
Yeah. That's the whole, like, okay.
They're nerds.
Yeah, not to get too much deeper into Ghostbusters corner, but, like, one of the things I loved about the movie is, like, and people made this comparison with Guardians of the Galaxy, which I agree with, which is that it's a silly movie with a dead serious villain.
Yes.
And that is fucking hilarious.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's like, yeah, the lore of Ghostbusters is not meant to be taken seriously. It's fucking
No.
Ghostbusters.
Yes.
Like, I like the idea of, like, a kid stumbling upon all this, like, old Ghostbusters shit and, like, having an adventure. Like, that sounds fun. But, yeah, if you're saying that they, like, are, like, super serious with it, like, that sounds stupid.
I'm just saying that's what the trailer
Yeah.
communicated to me.
Okay. That's fair. Yeah, because honestly, okay, no one likes the second movie, but I like the second movie. Because
Yeah, I don't like the second movie at all.
Yeah, the whole second movie is basically about how, like, there has-beens, and I find that very funny.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, it has, like, one of my favorite moments in it, where they're in the train tunnel, and they're, like, yelling for the echo, and then Winston, he goes, like, hey, or whatever, and then it's just dead silence, and then, like, a couple seconds later, it just goes, like, Winston, and all this wind starts flowing, and it's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
At least I'm pretty confident that's in 2.
So the new one that they're doing is supposed to come out in, like, November, I think. And so yeah, they're doing that, and it'll either be dumb or it will be really serious, and I don't really think that there's much else that it could be,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Well, the theater next door finally reopened to me, so
I heard.
yeah, hopefully they'll get it and I can see it.
Well, also, you probably still have a free ticket from Christmas 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, that's for a different company though.
That's for Cineplex, yeah. But you might as well use that up while you can.
That's true. Yeah, they expire in December, I believe.
They
I
do.
wonder what my scene point situation is.
Yeah.
Oh, I only have enough to go see a movie.
Yeah. Also, why the fuck do the ticket things expire? Like, you paid money for those.
Yep.
Like, I get why coupons expire because, like, no one paid anything for that. But
Yeah.
like these like admission tickets things, it's like someone paid for that. Like, they shouldn't expire.
Yeah.
That's stupid. Anyways, I think this means that it's about time to go on to favorite moments from this episode.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff I liked in this episode. Troy's blue outfit.
Mm-hmm.
That was fantastic. Geordi and Data in the shuttle. The chair conversation.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So this is after Rawl and Troi have, like, dinner where she's in the pink outfit.
Mm-hmm.
And they're back in Rawl and Riker are back and then like, is it the negotiation? No, they might be in 10 forward. God, we watched this and I've already forgotten anything I didn't write down. I've forgotten about. This might be in 10 forward, I think. And Rawl says to Riker, you know, you're pretty good at this. Very good. Much better than you realize. And then Riker goes, well, I hope I'm better than you realize.
Yeah.
That was a
I
real
liked
good one.
that.
I love that moment.
I loved Riker just destroying Rawl. Like, that was
Yep.
so fucking good. And I liked Troi fucking destroying Rawl also. I hated that guy so much. He's like on the level of, what's his face? The asshole who wanted to take Data apart.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
Dexter.
No, not Dexter.
No.
I can't remember what his name is.
Bruce. Bruce Maddox.
Bruce Maddox, yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
it was
he's
the
on
X.
Bruce level. But he's not quite at Ira yet, but he's
Yeah.
like around Bruce level. Because
Yeah.
so far Ira's number fucking 1.
Yep.
God, I
But-
hate that guy.
But to know him is to love him.
Yeah. And to love him is to know him.
That's why he's dead.
No,
I'll never
he's
have to know him.
he technically lives in the computer, remember?
That's true.
Oh god.
There will be more hateable villains.
Yeah.
Oh good.
Okay, so what happened to Ira? Like, what if they had to do like a reinstall? Like,
Ooh.
it's
Oh
just
my
gone
God.
now.
Yeah, they had to. If they do like a restart on the computer, then like Ira is just gone. Good.
Yeah.
Oh God, I hope he suffered. Yeah, fucking Ira. Yeah, but Rawl, I think is like Rawl really got what he deserved, and he's
Yeah.
gonna get in real big trouble when he gets back to the the people that he was negotiating for. I can't remember what they were called. So,
The Chrysalians, I believe.
oh yes. So, haha, Rawl, you get what you deserve, and yeah, there's a bunch of good stuff in this.
Yeah, I think my favorite. Actually, there was something else I wanted to bring up. It's a very like short point. Basically, like I understand in the 80s that like this whole touchy-feely thing was like considered romantic and not creepy. But man, through 2021 eyes, he's just such a fucking creep.
Yeah, it has not aged well.
Yeah.
Like, don't fucking touch anybody's hair without permission.
Yeah, seriously.
Don't. If anybody came to me and started touching my hair, I would fucking lose it. Mm-hmm. And especially, okay, I don't wear headbands. It's just not my thing. But if anybody just like took a headband or took like a hair elastic out of my hair, I would I would yell fire so people
Yeah.
would come to help
Yeah.
me. I like, why he just met her and he's already like in her face.
Yeah. It's
Bro.
so gross.
It's
So-
nauseating.
Yeah.
Like, step the fuck back. You don't know her, and she also looks so visibly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, what? You like? How? Where does he get the fucking audacity to like just be so up in her face like that? And doesn't question, doesn't think twice, just right up to her face.
Yeah. It's
It's
no.
fucking rude.
No,
It's-
thank
it's-
you.
It's disrespectful.
Yeah.
It's arrogant. He's an asshole. I hate him.
Yeah. Yeah, I think my favorite moments are ones you've already listed. My two absolute favorites are when Riker like absolutely destroys him. Specifically, like when the smile grows onto his face. I absolutely love that moment.
So good.
And
So good.
yeah, I was gonna bring up the Data Geordie line if you did
Yes.
It's
Um,
so good.
And yeah, the very end where Troy's like, I already have a job as a counselor. I just thought that was such a good line. So yeah, those are mine.
Data Journey moment for me, just hands down. It was that sold me on everything about it. Because like before that, they were in a really crappy. What do you call it? Okay, so the set that they're in, or rather the shuttle pod that they're in, is just the shuttle pod on a soundstage, and zoomed in so you can't see the stuff behind them. And I just find it really amusing whenever it starts shaking around, and I'm just like, that's guys,
People
guys,
just standing outside shaking it.
Yeah, exactly that. And
my
I don't know.
God.
I just find everything that happens on that pod, especially in this episode, really funny.
Yeah.
Like when they're going through the wormhole, and it's just like rave lights on them constantly, and I'm like, wow,
and it's just,
guys,
it's
good
framed
job.
so tight, and it's just really
Yes.
funny.
You know what it makes me think of? Do you remember on we did a feature film together, No Man's Land, a few years ago, and there was a scene where somebody's being attacked in like the outhouse, and we had to like shake it.
Yeah. That ended up looking really good, though.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. But yeah, Jordy and Data and the shuttle shaking made me think of us shaking the outhouse.
Hey, it works.
It does. It's simple but effective.
Okay, so it's time to move on to predictions for the next episode.
Ooh.
So, the next episode, let me just make sure of the name here.
Oh, you've got it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Is called, the episode is called The Vengeance Factor.
What a creative name.
Yeah.
Sounds like something from the original series.
So,
The Vengeance Factor.
yeah.
That's right.
So here's your clue for this episode. Jeff wrote this. So our crew is tasked with negotiating peace between two bitter rival clans before a murder threatens the entire process.
Murder mystery. Murder mystery. Murder mystery. Oh my God. Dreams would come true. Oh my God. If they have to solve a murder together, I will fucking lose my mind in the best way possible. But I think, I was going to say, because I want it to happen so badly, it's not going to happen. But that's what I said when I wanted Geordi to be the Watson to Data's Sherlock Holmes. And in the Riker episode, when they're like, when we were going to meet a dad, I was like, I want it to be Riker, but it probably won't. Oh, I was right those times. But this feels like too good of a dream come true.
Yeah.
For them to like solve a mystery. Oh my God, if Data gets to be Sherlock Holmes for this. Oh my God. This is so good.
Just so you're not like set off on the wrong path here, I'm going to disappoint you and say it's more about the negotiations than the murder.
Yes.
Yeah.
My dreams have been crushed.
I think you will get a murder mystery though at
You
some
will.
Oh,
point.
yay.
Yeah.
Yay. Okay, so this is like two sides. They're trying to make peace. And it's called The Vengeance Factor?
Yes.
Yes, which doesn't give you a single clue as to what the fuck the episode is about.
Huh. Okay. I have something. It's not great, but I'm trying to think of something that I don't think I've thought of before. So I'm thinking environmental. Okay. So say they all live on this planet together, these two clans, and maybe there's some kind of they get into a whole thing because something happened with one of their like natural resources. They agreed to like share stuff, but then something goes wrong that's like actually external, but they blame each other and they think that they're lying that they like destroyed this. So now they're in like a big, rivalry or just like they hate each other, whatever. And then but it's gotten to the point where like they started ruining each other's resources and shit. So now the Federation, so the Enterprise is asked to sort of like help because it just keeps escalating. And the same outside source that fucked up the like natural resource to start is what's responsible for someone dying, but both sides think that it's still the other side, but it's like it's the same external thing. It's maybe like a parasite that's like destroying shit. Or maybe it's a conscious parasite that's just a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go with that. Environmental terrorism.
All right.
All right, cool.
That sounds like a pretty intriguing idea, honestly.
I like terrorism. I mean, hi.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you'd like to see if Dory's right, watch along with us and join us for the next episode of Fully Functional, a TNG podcast.
Goodbye.